I started this channel around half a year ago, but I didn't start making videos around half a year ago. I've been making videos since I was maybe 9 years old. And a few years ago, on a different channel that I started with my brother, I made some self help type videos called the Off Day series. I play professional basketball, and on the days where I didn't have practice, I would take some time and create a short little video just talking about life and different lessons that I've learned. And in this series, I'm going to be taking a look back at those videos and seeing how my thoughts may have evolved, but also just taking them as small little reminders for me today, because that's why I made the videos in the first place, to remind myself of the different lessons that I've learned. And yeah, it's always good to have a reminder to do the things that you know to do. We get stuck on autopilot a lot. So I think this is going to be good. This is going to be beneficial. I believe there are about 15 of these videos out there. So we got some good content to work through. Today, we're going to look at the first video. So I have my phone right here. And without further ado, let's get to it. Why does it feel like I'm about to do some like YouTube apology video or something? I don't I have no idea what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to speak, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. That's the whole point of this video. So yeah, let's get to it. For the past, this is really cool for me to just go back and look at, because you can see I am not totally comfortable, not necessarily being on camera. Being on camera was fine, but talking about these different things, talking about my real thoughts and ideas, and not just making funny videos or little skits to put onto YouTube. Putting some, I say something of substance, because for me, a skit has substance because it's entertaining and there's often a deeper message to it. It's kind of a critique of society a lot of times, but this is a different spiel. This is a different thing. Just me putting my ideas out there and sharing my struggles. And one of my struggles was just getting in front of the camera and talking in that manner. And you can see it illustrated in those first couple of seconds. So it's really cool to see where I am now, how I feel now, just talking to you about life and these different things. A lot more comfortable than I was in that moment. There were so many different fears and anxieties around sharing my thoughts that were so illogical, and none of those dangers really have hit me. Of course, you get different hate comments and different people saying different things, but they kind of roll off of your back if you're making videos and sharing your thoughts every single day. So let's keep watching. Thoughts that were going through my mind, and I knew that we have this channel, and I know that I have a lot of things going on up here, a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of experiences that I've worked through myself, and a lot of ways that I've grown and that I'm still growing, like in this video here today, that I think would be beneficial for people who might find themselves in similar situations that I found myself in, that I find myself in right now, making this video, and I just have never pulled the trigger. I didn't pull the trigger. I have like 2 gigabytes of storage left on my phone here because I have videos. I had video ideas. I had scripted out videos that I was going to post, edit, and do everything with. The good old storage space. This still something that I'm working with right now, posting on Instagram, doing these shorts that I also post here on YouTube. If you're making videos every single day on your phone, it is very difficult. So I'm glad I have this camera right here, the Osmo Pocket 3, I think. Obviously, this isn't sponsored, but it's been a great little tool to free up my phone from having all of the content and the content ideas on it. But the reason I turned the camera back on to talk about that is those anxieties stopped me from just posting the videos that I had the ideas for. I wanted to document different things, me writing my books, doing little projects, and I never posted them, and I've ended up deleting most of those videos, and there was no danger of me posting those. But for me, I just felt like everything that I posted was going to be criticized or somehow reflect on me in some poor way. And that might be the case. But for me, living my life in fear of being found out to be who I am, which is more than just a basketball player, more than just somebody who likes to write books, more than just a black kid or a mixed kid or
anything, whatever I am from the outside looking in, that fear paralyzed me, and it was robbing me of the opportunity to share insights and experiences that have proven to be so, so valuable, not just to me, but also to people like you watching. So I'm so glad that it didn't take me until 30 or 35 to realize this, and I can realize it at 25 and be more open and be more willing to share these thoughts.
I filmed in Barcelona, I filmed in Hungary, I filmed workouts as a basketball player. Valuable stuff, I felt like, but that just that little voice in my head was sitting there and it was telling me, don't do it. Just keep doing what you've been doing. You're doing a lot.
That's going to be a theme in this. There are some random location switches. Yeah, you got to keep the viewer engaged. And one of my methods for doing that was switching locations up, even within my relatively small apartment that I was living in at the time. I loved that apartment, by the way. It felt like home. It was my first apartment that I had fully to myself without living with another teammate. So it's always going to have a special place in my heart. And that's why I had to turn the camera back on.
You know, you're 22 years old, you're pretty successful for your age, but you know, this whole YouTube thing, you're not an influencer. Who do you want to be? Logan Paul, Mr. Beast? Who are you trying to be? This whole concept of identity just really stopped me from doing it because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Plain and simple. I have a fear of people misunderstanding me.
This is something I still deal with today. This is something that as this channel evolves, I'm going to get better and better with. And just posting the stuff, man, is if you are thinking about or in the process of making content, just post it. If people don't watch it, so what? So what? Find the best way to find out what you want to post and what you want to share with the world is sharing stuff with the world. Everybody wants their first video to get 1 billion views. Some people do, but I think chasing views in the long run is going to make you feel empty, because if you're playing to the crowd instead of forming an identity and building something, building a channel that people can latch onto, yeah, I think you're fighting a losing battle. So this is something I'm still working on, just silencing those voices that I'm talking about in the video and being more open to just posting stuff. And if it flops, then it flops. But me posting and making content is going to help me discover what my message is that the world needs to hear.
I think that's my biggest fear, because I've spent my whole life being very conscious of who I am and how I lead my life, because I've had such wonderful examples in my life and I strive to be an example for others. And so I've been very conscious and I've gotten better about detaching from it, but even still in this situation, I've noticed it's still something that I deal with. It's still something that I'm struggling with, because these voices are telling me, not when I say voices, obviously, you know, we all have different people and whatever in our heads, not different personalities, but you know, the devil and the angel on your shoulder, call it that. And I gave in, and then I started thinking about, oh well, yeah, it would be too much work to edit all the videos. I don't want to hire an editor, and well, you know, name the excuse. I came up with it, I submitted to it, and even still, as I'm recording this, those excuses are coming up. Yeah, I don't feel like really editing this. It's not even a fear of people not watching it, because the fear is people watching it and how they'll respond. And I know I'm rambling, I know there's not much structure to this, but
sitting here and watching this, I do ask myself, what if I had stuck with this for the last 3 years and just evolved this idea of just sharing my thoughts a little bit every week, and maybe evolved into what I'm doing now, which is sharing those thoughts every single day? Where would I be now? But hey, there's this thing called sunk cost fallacy, that you're too far behind, or you have, I guess it's not really sunk cost fallacy, because sunk cost fallacy is, oh, okay, I'm in too deep. So like, you have one bad day of eating and you say, okay, well, then I'm just not going to stick to my diet anymore. That would be sunk cost fallacy. This is a little bit different, but for me, yeah, crying over spilled milk. The experiences that I've gained off camera in the last 3 years are the things that I share on camera today. And now I'm committed to, for the rest of my life, sharing just some small thoughts and tidbits, and sometimes longer videos like this. So yeah, I don't want to cry over spilled milk, but I do wonder, where would I be today had I had the courage to stick with that and the patience?
This is the start of an experiment for me, and if you want to be a part of it, I'll be glad for you to partake in this journey with me, because it's really an experiment to see if this fear thing that we talk about or don't talk about is real.
Location switch.
I guess in my mind, that's how my mind works. What better way to really put it to the test than to leave myself completely vulnerable and open myself up to the world? Now, knowing the YouTube algorithm and all that kind of stuff, I'm no rookie to this YouTube thing. I've had multiple projects go up on YouTube, and we have this channel that we have posted on every now and then. So I'm no stranger to it. 9 times out of 10, it's not even gonna reach that many people anyways.
My perspective on this has changed because this video has 79 views, and yeah, you might say that's not a lot, but if I had 79 people walk through that front door right now, I would be like, I don't know what's going on. If I had one person walk through that door and start listening to me, I would already think something's up. So I think my endurance with making content really went through the roof when I started realizing that even if just one person takes something from the content that I'm posting, it's a win. And that one person, guess what? It can be me too. So yeah, I'm glad that that view has evolved because it's not so exhausting to make content anymore.
But that voice is concerned about the people that it does reach. People that I probably won't even see in my life. People that I won't get the chance to interact with or meet or whatever. And that fear at the very same time.
I wasn't going to turn the camera on for the location switch, but I mean, just take a look at that. I squeezed every drop of cinematography out of that apartment. I really should give myself a pat on the back, and I'm going to do that. That was, yeah. Well done. Well done, 2023, Anthony.
Is what makes this experiment, this project, this whatever you want to call it, powerful.
I definitely was onto something because now with the rise of AI technology, this is content. Content is just people being authentic, sharing their thoughts, sharing their experiences, sharing their feelings, sharing their shortcomings with the world. That's what is taking off in content, that authenticity. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I know God was speaking to me. God was pulling me into that space, and I had to go through that phase of content in order to be who I am now, appearing in front of the camera now. I do hope you notice the difference in my demeanor, my energy. I don't think I was a poor speaker by any means, but you could tell I was a little bit more reserved. I was a little bit trying to be a little bit too cool, a little, I don't want to say like Andrew Tate type, but just a little bit more aloof. And now I'm just looking to be a little warmer, a little more just like an older brother who's a couple of steps ahead of you on the journey, or maybe walking right beside you, or maybe even learning from you, just depending on what the topic is. So not being full of myself, not that I was making those videos, but just, yeah, I feel a lot looser, and I think you can tell.
And I know this isn't the highest quality video, but that's the entire point. I was sitting at home, off day, and I just said, forget it, I'm doing it. And this isn't going to be the last time that I do this. This is only the beginning of my experiment. I hate to call it that. I hate to call it experiment, but that's the only way that I can really describe it. And really put fear to the test. At least this fear, because my job is literally, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have the career of playing in front of crowds and being in high pressure situations all the time. And oddly enough, you find yourself being the most uncomfortable alone.
Man, amen to that. The workshop of silence is whew, it is one that everyone who plays professional basketball in Europe or overseas, as they call it. It doesn't just have to be Europe. You can be in South America, Australia, Asia, wherever the wind takes you. Anybody who's in this line of work has to go through that workshop of silence, and it can break you. It can break you. But a lot of us become men that we would have never been had we not taken that leap and went away from our families to pursue a game that we have a passion for, that we have a talent in, that we've cultivated, and just seen what's possible, what's out there. So I'm glad I had the courage to talk about that. That loneliness really made me into the man I am today. And it is something that now that I'm living with my girlfriend together is something I'm glad that I went through, because it just makes me a better man and helps me to face the challenges of day-to-day life a lot better. And I think our relationship is better for it.
when you're in this kind of line of work. So just me and a camera, and the result of me and a camera being put out there to the world is kind of spooky. But this is what I'm doing. I'm going for it. I don't know what it is. I just know that this process scares me. Point blank, this process scares me. So I'm gonna do it. And I know I'm not alone in this feeling and this emotion of having something that you really desire to do, that you know you should be doing, and not doing it for various reasons. And so maybe if one person watching this is able to click off of this video and go do whatever that thing is that they know they should be doing, or that they know is going to fulfill them, or that they know is the next step in their journey. If that person is you and you take that step with me today, then me facing my fears was all worth it in the end. I'll see you soon. And until then, do what scares you.
Who would have thought that that person would be me all these years later? I think about 3 years later, two and a half years later, a lot has changed. And one of those things, thankfully, is that fear of posting content is minimal. There are certain pieces of content where I still hesitate, but I'm posting content every single day. I'm posting videos and posting my thoughts and ideas every single day. So I take that as a major win. I see the evolution, I see the growth, and that's what counts. So this series of me going back and watching these old videos is going to be highlighting for me my growth and how far I've come, but also helping you to see the fruits of the process, the fruits of sticking with the things that scare you, like I said in the video, because on the other side of it is a better version of you every single time. So like I said at the end of that video, your fears aren't real, and always remember, the best is yet to come.